What's good, y'all? It's Abwon, and this is Before You Watch, and I am back with a long 2-month hiatus, man. My last review was for Spider-Man Far From Home. I haven't been reviewing things for lack of content, per se. It's pretty much because of lack of quality content. I don't just review things for the sake of reviewing them. I review things that people are actually interested in watching, along with myself. There's a lot of things out here that I've been seeing that I really don't care to watch. And I've noticed a lot of other people haven't been caring to watch them either because A, they're flopping in the box office, and 2, people aren't coming to me asking where the review is at like they usually do. So a couple of people recommended some movies for me on Netflix that I still have yet to review. I'm gonna get to them. And a couple of people have recommended shows for me as well, like The Boys on Amazon Prime Video. So I'm gonna get to them, but the thing with reviewing TV shows is that it's gonna take longer because my schedule is just crazy. It's crazy. So since I haven't been doing the reviews, I've pretty much upped my interviews. I got an interview with Jono Young. He's a star. He's one of the stars of the new show Wu-Tang: An American Dream on Hulu. He plays the Jizza. So definitely go check that out. It's only like 5 minutes long, so you're gonna be in and be out with that review. But It Chapter 2. The first movie, the first one, It, the remake that came out in 2017, is the biggest rated R horror film in movie history. So, you know, this movie had high expectations. I feel like it's probably the highest anticipated horror film to date. I mean, everybody watches The Conjuring and Annabelle and things like that, but I don't think people were really checking for those movies like they were checking for this one. And the number one thing I can say about this movie that's gonna stand out are its visuals. The visuals and the editing are top notch, man. I mean, everything just looks so good. It just looks so good. The CGI just doesn't even look like CGI, but the editing to me is A1, man. How they transition from scene to scene. And I know casual viewers probably don't care about things like this, but even if you're just a YouTuber, you understand the art of editing. And when you watch this film, man, I'll just give you a quick example. It has had a couple characters in a nighttime scene. They were looking up at the Big Dipper at the starry skies at night, and the camera pretty much zooms into the sky, and the sky opens up into a puzzle piece, and that basically transitioned into the next scene of a person in a room using a puzzle. And I said, yo, that was just so dope the way they did it. Like, the camera tilts and turns, very Inception-like, Matrix-like, and it goes from one scene to another like seamlessly. It was just so dope to me, It just looks really natural, and you know, it's very creepy. The imagery will definitely the imagery is unsettling. It's unsettling. But the negative part about this film is that it doesn't do anything different that the first one did. So everything that you saw from the first movie, you're gonna see it again in this one, just more of it. This movie is 3 hours. Well, technically it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes, so pretty much 3 hours. And for the whole 3 hours, there's really nothing captivating. It's not a boring movie. It's not a boring movie at all. It's definitely engaging. The pacing is definitely on point. It goes from one scene to another, but nothing stands out. It's, you know, Pennywise, you see him, he's very in your face. His smile is very wild, and they show a lot of teeth and a lot of snarls and things like that. All the monsters are very in your face. There's a lot of jump scares. It's just pretty much a lot of the same. It's not scary. It can be creepy at times, but the movie is very disgusting. Like, you'll see like skulls mutate into spiders, and people grow like fingers out of their eyes. That it's just very disgusting. The movie's very disgusting, which adds to the unsettling factor, but it just doesn't do anything else that the first movie doesn't do. It can't, you know what? The movie is very predictable. It is very predictable. But since it is 3 hours, there are a lot of characters in this film, so I get it. They have to expand on each character's stories, or there will be plenty of plot holes. So pacing is pretty much forced to be on point. It's almost like an action movie for a horror film. There's always something going on. My biggest gripe with the characters is that since there are so many, they all grew up during your childhood years. But as they're older, you just feel like a lot of these characters just really don't have a place in the storyline except for just being there. So Mike, the African-American gentleman, he was the biggest culprit to me. And I don't think it was his fault. It could have just been the writer's fault. I just felt like nobody was really his friend. There were a couple other characters, they have like their own inside jokes. They make mom jokes. They have like letters they wrote each other when they were kids, and they have childhood crushes on each other. But Mike is kind of like just there to bring everybody back together to kill this clown. Like, I feel like nobody really cares about him. And I know him and James McAvoy were supposed to be homies, but I don't even really believe that friendship. Like, this guy was begging him to call him at the end of the movie, like, yo, bro, like, just give me a call. So, whatever. That's the issue I have with the children, but they do a good job of implementing flashback scenes real time, so you get a gist of who the character is when they were younger. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. You're gonna have to watch the first one before you watch this movie. I only watched the first one time, and I was so confused at a lot of scenes. I completely forgot who certain characters were and things like that. So if you have a chance to watch the first one, definitely do that before you watch this one. It's a good movie, but it's not better than the first one, not at all. It's 3 hours. I really felt like a lot of scenes could have been cut out to make this movie 2 hours and maybe 25 minutes. There were a lot of unnecessary scenes, a lot of irrelevant scenes. Just to give you a quick example, it won't spoil anything for you. There were two particular characters underwater kissing, and I was sitting there like, why is this scene even in this movie when maybe 2 scenes later we see them on a boat with the dog? And the audience isn't stupid. We could have just put 2 and 2 together that, you know, they pretty much are in a relationship at the end of the movie. We didn't need to see them kissing underwater, and the water was dirty as hell. Like, why did you even bother? 3 hours of my life, y'all could have really did a better job of respecting your viewers' time, but that was just me. Also, if you're prone to seizures, there are a lot of scenes with flashing lights. Just to let you know now, I had to turn my head a couple times. So with all of that being said, I did like the movie, but I will not watch it again. I'm gonna give it a 7.8. That's it. I really wanted to give it like a mid-8, but I just couldn't do it. I just felt the runtime was too long. The movie just didn't do anything differently than the first one. Check it out though. There really ain't anything else worth watching out right now, so definitely check this movie out. Hit me up on the gram, know what I'm saying? Check out my other videos. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Talk to me, I talk back, man. I'm out of here. Peace.